Hi guys, how are you? This is Lois. Welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to be here with you today because this week we are busy trying to catch up with immigration, and I'm trying to help you catch up with Canadian immigration. Okay, so have you subscribed? If you have subscribed, thank you guys. If you haven't, please do subscribe, like and share, and stick here, stay with me, turn on that notification button just so that when I release new videos, you know exactly what I'm releasing and what I'm talking about. I educate you guys for free here. Okay, this is not legal advice though. If you need legal advice, please book a consultation with me on www.mileleimmigrationservices.ca. The link will be in the bio of this video. Okay guys, what do I want to talk to you about? Again, I promised you that video about express entry, and I'm talking about the 3 programs that actually get processed through the express entry. Okay, this video is going to be about one program that is called the Canadian Experience Class. Okay, are you ready guys? With the NOCs changing into what we are calling the tier system, some few changes have come. So who qualifies to get into the Canadian Experience Class? So when I'm talking about the express entry, or rather when you hear about the express entry, people usually think that express entry is a program. No, express entry is not an immigration program. Express entry is a platform that processes 3 immigration programs, and one of them is the Canadian Experience Class. Okay, now what do you need to qualify for the Canadian Experience Class? And I've done a previous video with the old system. This is now the new system. Okay, I think I'm going to tag the old video just in case you want to make a reference point, or maybe just because maybe I might forget something, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to tag that video, but I just want to walk you through quickly the eligibility criteria for the Canadian Experience Class. And just as the name says, it's called Canadian Experience Class, which means you need to have Canadian experience. How do you get Canadian experience? By being in Canada or having been in Canada. Not just everybody. You must have been in Canada in a capacity that allowed you to get Canadian experience. So either you came here as a student and then you got into the postgraduate work permit and then you got a job, you gained Canadian work experience. That's what Canadian work experience is. Or you came here, you accompanied your spouse who was coming to study, and you got yourself a spousal work permit and you gained 1 year of work experience, and now you have what you call Canadian experience. Or you got an employer in Canada from wherever, maybe you are abroad in your country, and someone hired you in Canada and they brought you here either on an open work permit or on a closed work permit, and you have amassed 1 year of work experience in Canada. That is Canadian experience. This class is for you guys. So what else do you need? Now that you already have Canadian work experience, again, I said you must meet 5 factors. Okay? Age, education, languages, work experience, job offer, all those things. And for age, we are not gonna talk about age at this point because, you know, there is no specific set age apart from the fact that you have to be over 18. As long as you meet the requirements, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still apply for this program. Okay, as far as you meet the other requirements. But as we know it, your chances decline the older you are, and especially people who are over 50, they may find it challenging to fit into this kind of a class. Okay, so which are the language requirements? Of course, Canada being bilingual, you need either to speak English or French or both. If you speak both, the better. And you know that the language here is measured by what we call CLB. Okay, that is the Canadian language benchmark. Okay, and the language exams that you need to do are either IELTS or CELPIP or TEF or TCF. Okay, now the language requirement for the Canadian Experience Class is CLB 7 for Tier O, tier 1 occupations. And then there's CLB1, the CLB5 for tier 2 or tier 3 occupations. Okay? So that tells you which tiers are participating. Okay? The tiers that are participating in this class then are tier O, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, my friend. Okay? Those are the people who will be able to participate in this class. And then, of course, there is the work experience. So you must have attained Canadian work experience in an occupation in those tiers, that is tier O, tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. Okay? How much work experience do you need? You need at least 1 year work experience in Canada in the last 3 years. That is either full-time or part-time work experience. That is, so it's very specific, at least 1 year in the last 3 years. Not that you had work experience in Canada in the last 10, no, it's in the last 3 years. Okay? Do you need a job offer? No, you do not need a job offer, my friend. You just need to meet the Canadian experience and the other factors. And any minimum education requirement, again, there is no education minimum requirement for this. But again, the higher education you have, the better your chances. Because, why do I say this? And I want to emphasize on this. As much as, you know, I like how immigration says, oh, you don't need education, you don't need this, you don't need that. Education is not required, a job offer is not required. All those things are good if you have them. Why? Because when you get into the express entry, you'll still be ranked into a point system under what we call the CRS core, my friend. And when you get into a CRS core, you are competing with multitudes of people from all over the world. So what does that mean, my friend? You have people who have PhDs, who have masters, who have 2 languages, you know. So what does that do? It raises the bar. And when the bar is raised, as much as you meet the minimum requirements, you may still not be invited, despite you meeting the requirements. So it's in your best interest always and always to make sure that whether they say that you just need CLB7, they don't need any education, please get yourself an education, okay? You'll be competing with people who have a lot of education. How much, what are the odds that you get invited, okay? So make sure that you perfect your languages, make sure that you have higher education. If you have more work experience, the better. The more work experience you have, the better. Because I know they're just saying they just need 1 year work experience, but is it gonna be enough considering the competition? With these NOC changes, or rather with these tier changes, if you plan to submit your express entry profile either today or after today, you must make sure that you search your occupation under the NOC 2021 list on the ESDC website. Remember, I did that video to show you exactly how to do that. And then you must submit your tier category and the 5-digit occupation code when filling out your profile, okay? If you have already submitted a profile under the last NOC, but you haven't received an invitation, that is to apply, you must search for your NOC under the NOC 2021, and then you must update your profile with the tier category and the 5-digit occupation, okay? For you to remain eligible to receive an ITA, your profile must be updated on today or after today, okay? If you have already received an invitation to apply, that is like before today, if you already got an invitation the last few days, then you must submit your application for PR using the NOC 2016. So this is for people, these changes are for people who have not submitted their applications, okay? So if you received an invitation already, then you must use the old NOC 2016, okay? With the comprehensive ranking system, okay, the points that you will get will be dependent on the skill level of the tier, okay? For example, if you would have received 50 points for arranged employment, I said employment is not necessary, but let's say you have that arranged employment in a skill level O, A, or B, now you will start to get 50 points for employment in tier O, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so it's just direct transition. Whatever points you got for your previous NOC is the same point that you get in your current tier. So those are the requirements of the Canadian Experience class. Before you go about applying, my friend, make sure you understand the tier system, and make sure you also understand the point system. Yes, make sure you understand those. If you need help figuring out the point system, send an email to me, or just head on to the website actually and book a consultation there. I'll be happy to walk you through the process, and even how you apply, and the documents that you'll be needing, and at what point you will need those documents, just so that you can have a successful application. Okay, my dear, thank you so much. Have you subscribed? If you have, thank you. If you haven't, please do subscribe, like, and share this video, and I will see you in my next video.